Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I just want to make a video around something that I don't even know if I want to make a video around, and that's drunk texting and the many a Hangxiety day was spent as a result of just stupid drunken texting. And sometimes it would happen maybe during the day, like a Sunday, when you're topping up from the night before and just all your normal thoughts go down the pan, as you know. And then, of course, the 3 a.m. boozing sessions, the parties for one and stuff like that, when, again, you're just in a weird mind, in a weird state. All your normal kind of rules and everything just go out the window. And like I say, I don't even know if I wanted to make this video, but why not give it a bash. And even thinking back, to be honest, I don't really put too much thought into the videos, just ideas pop up, etc. And I might take a few notes before it, but doing this one as well and just kind of thinking about it, and like I was humming and hawing about it. Will I do it? Will I not do it? And I think the reason is because it just, thinking back, just gives me the fear. And I actually remember quite a few occasions when it became a really bad habit, and when I was going to maybe think about boozing at the weekend, the first thing that popped into my head wasn't like, you're going to have a mad hangover, you'll spend too much money. It'll be like, God, how can you avoid this stupid drunk texting? And funnily enough, actually, when I lived in Norway, I ended up binning a smartphone for years, actually, and just had this 20 quid Nokia thing where the battery lasted about a month. And I just used that, and if somebody would text me, it was a nightmare to text back. It was just a crap brick phone, but it was great because I would never text back, and I didn't have access to WhatsApp, etc. And it kind of saved it then. But then nowadays, as you know, you need your smartphone for everything, to do your banking and literally everything. All your codes, etc. are all kind of stored there, so you can't get away with it. And it's just such a bizarre thing. I mean, I think it was made extra worse when you were texting somebody that you would normally never text back. I mean, if I was texting, I'm sure people are the same. Honestly, if you've got some wild stories, stick them in the comments. I would love to hear them. But, even when you're texting close friends and stuff, you ended up, putting opinions in there, strong opinions into group chats, you were really into it. And instead of sending a message in one big message, it would be 20 small ones, and you look back and the spelling's wrong, and you're just looking back and you can't delete it because everyone saw it and it's in a group chat, and you just think, ugh, what was I doing? But then you get the ones where you're texting people that you would never text in your life, like an ex or an ex-boss or something like that. And it was just waking up the next morning, just thinking about all that stuff was just the worst, and then you get dating apps, of course, which, I guess aren't as bad because you could just delete your profile after or whatever. It's just such a bizarre situation, and the things you would text as well. And even the lighter things, you'd be texting a mate that lives abroad and, how's it going? And then you've agreed to come over and fly over on a certain day, and then you're going to need to tell them that you can't go anymore and that you were hammered, and then they're like, oh, okay, no worries and all that. And then you feel just like an absolute idiot. And, even on dating apps back in the day, just swiping right at folk or swiping left, whatever you would do, agree, just speaking about stuff and agreeing to stuff, and the stuff that you were saying is just so cringeworthy. And it was just honestly, even looking back, it just totally gives me the absolute fear. And it would just I think just with me and probably most folk, everything's so habitual. I would just go through stages where I'd be doing it all the time, and then for some reason I just, it just would stop. And I think normally it would stop because if I was on a night out, I hate when people take their phone out every 2 minutes. I don't have social media, but I've got mates that every minute they take out their phone and they're on Facebook or whatever they do, they're checking stuff, and I'm like, why are you checking your phone every minute? It's really annoying. So I make a point to like never get my phone out if it's meals, etc. And just, it's just a kind of rule I have. And if I was on a night out, I would never take my phone out. So that would really stop me from drunk texting, because there's no way I would take out my phone and think, oh, I'll go and text whoever. But like I said before, I think it was just the party for ones was the biggest trigger, where you're sitting there, then all of a sudden you're 2-3 drinks in and you're a bit bored. You know, you maybe done that. You maybe had the party for one on the Friday and now it's Saturday, and yeah, I've kind of watched loads of Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares episodes already. I've listened to all my favourite tunes from like the 90s and the 2000s, and you're kind of just endlessly scrolling. You think, oh, well, I'll give Davey a phone, or I'll give Davey a text, see what he's up to. And then, you know, it's like after 10 drinks it gets even worse, you know. And I think, you know, you've got loads of chats on the go and stuff like that, and it's just, honestly, I'm getting the fear just thinking about it. And I as well, like, drunk phone calls is another thing, actually, thinking about it, especially mates from abroad. And, you know, I was quite lucky. I don't think I would really say anything too bad. It's just cringy stuff, you know. Like I say, you're just like, oh, you're like bigging yourself up or exaggerating something you did at your job, like you're some sort of hero or something, you know. It's just so bad. But I remember like having like, but maybe actually my mates I was phoning were drunk as well, and they're thinking the same. Maybe they are, I don't know. But, you know, you end up talking for half an hour to somebody on like WhatsApp or FaceTime, and you can't even remember the next day. It's so bad when you think about it. Like say for me, it was just mates that are living abroad, and for some reason it'd pop into my head, oh, I've not spoken to whoever in a while, I'll give them a buzz, and I must have just been talking the absolute crap, you know, and just so cringeworthy. And of course, the next morning, you know, when you wake up, and honestly, I don't think there's a bigger fear ever. I'll need to think about it for a sec. I don't think there's a bigger fear I got when I woke up in the morning and I knew I'd been texting, like, and I had no idea who. Like, instant, like 10 out of 10 fear. And then you've got that moment where you need to find your phone and open it up, and it feels like a year, because you're like, oh no, please no, please no. And then you open up the text messages and you're like, oh no. It hits you that there's like 7 open messages things, and you see, and since they display the message, a bit of it, you can see whatever it is, the first 15 words, and maybe some of it comes back to you, and you're just sitting there like, oh no, what do I do? Then you're maybe scrambling, trying to like delete the last message because it's not been seen yet, and you're like, oh, thank God for that one. Just thank God I managed to delete that last thing. You know, it's like 2:43 a.m. or maybe you just go full on and you just delete the whole chat without even looking. You're looking through one eye to just the delete, where the delete thing is. So bad, is it? Like 40 odd years old, but I'm sitting there like, can hardly see because I'm so hungover, and looking at my phone with one eye, one finger typing to try and do damage limitation from the night before. It's just wild. But sometimes it was mad because you had so much anxiety about it. I was, oh God, I can't believe I was texting that, what a clown I am. And then I'll never do that again. And then you have a hair of the dog and the text opens again and you just don't care, like, nah, who cares? YOLO, you know. Just absolute bizarre situation to be in, and I'm just glad that's over, to be honest. It was like, honestly, I think it was in my top 3 fears, like, of just stuff that I would think about all the time, because I knew I was a nightmare when it came to, and like I say, 99% of the time it was just cringe stuff. Just, you know, jumping into one of my mates' group chats with something and just about the football or about something, and just, oh God, what an absolute idiot. But anyway, honestly, please share your stories. Don't need to name any names, of course, but it would be interesting to see. I'm sure, like all other things, I'm not the only one out there who's had absolute cringe text moments, but it'd be good to see. And yeah, please hype the video, subscribe, etc. I don't know if you can even hype my videos, but yeah, I don't think I get any, so if you do hype them, thanks a lot. I think it boosts the channel a lot these days. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.